but she's quite a special girl. She's changing her life so much.
Michelle, welcome to our info and question and answer information session about stem cell activation patches.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle. We have Lilliana. So
hello.
great to see you. And thank you for joining us. Are you joining us from the UK or from Europe?
Yeah.
In
my pajamas.
Same. They don't understand. They don't understand how late it is in here.
Say that again.
I don't feel so bad now.
We feel bad because we are in our pajamas.
Oh, it's okay. It's doesn't matter because I'm just seeing you from here up anyhow, so no big deal. So let's jump in and get started because we've got 8 minutes past the hour, and whoever joins us afterwards. All right. So
if you're gonna record, I'd rather just not show my face though.
yeah, it's okay.
Beautiful, anyway.
You look gorgeous, girl. You always look gorgeous. So let me start off by saying we always have to give our disclaimers. The patches are not intended to treat, prevent, or cure any disease. We do not cure, treat, or diagnose. The suggestions do not replace the diagnosis and treatment by a qualified licensed healthcare professional. We strongly recommend you consult with your doctor concerning your specific health challenge and treatment needed. No medical claims are being made with the suggestions here. We've got a new person jumping in.
Good. I'm sending invites.
Fantastic. Okay, so we have somebody on a Galaxy S9, someone after my own heart, because I have a Galaxy S9 too. Great phone. So let's get started. We'll be talking about the stem cell activation patches. And the bottom line is that these are stem cell activation patches. These are not patches that have stem cells in them. There's no donor stem cells. These are purely patches that are non-transdermal. Let me show you really up close. This is what a patch looks like. I'm going to show you with this dark surface. You can see that the white circle in the middle is a lattice. It's a crystal lattice that is made of organic nanotechnology that is made up of organic salts, crystals, and amino acids. And these stem cell activation patches are designed to work with your body's own infrared light. So as you may or may not know, if I were to take night vision goggles and hold them up and look at you in the dark, you would glow in the dark infrared light because your 98.7 degrees temperature, that heat is coming from the light that's inside your body. In fact, I actually have a device called a BioWell. And when I scan people, I scan all 10 of their fingers and I can get a measurement of the joules of energy. That's how we measure light and how we measure energy. It's in joules. So I can see how many joules of energy each organ or organ system in the body is creating. And then I get a 24-page report that tells me all sorts of things that's going on inside of your body. So these stem cell activation patches that are small, they're only like 3 centimeters, are the size of a quarter. And these provide rapid pain relief, better sleep, improved energy and vitality. And so I want to start off by saying that we have actually 13 stem cell activation patches, but only 12 that are for humans and 1 that is designed specifically for animals. And so we're only going to talk today about the stem cell activation patches that are for humans. So the first one is a mother stem cell activation patch. And that stem cell activation patch that I'm wearing here activates your stem cells, not that you were born with, but that you were conceived with. These are the original stem cells that have the original blueprint, so that when a stem cell signals the body to create a cell, the cells that are created at that time are something called pluripotent. Pluripotent means that it has many. That's what pluri mean. Potent means that it has the ability to morph and to be transformed and become any kind of cell the body needs, whether it's a bone cell, bone marrow, skin, eye, teeth, nails, whatever it is that the body needs in that time. The stem cell signals the body to create the cell. And then the way the body is designed, it goes to the area of worst damage that needs the most repair. So then that stem cell turns into the type of needed cell that needs to be repaired and replaced so that your body can be restored. So this is one of the beautiful things about what's going on, is that when you're 30 years old, 50% of your stem cells turn off. And by the time you're 60 years old, 90 to 100% of your stem cells have shut off. So as soon as you put these on, it doesn't take a minute, doesn't take 30 minutes, doesn't take days. The moment we put a stem cell activation patch anywhere on your body, it automatically responds by bouncing off of this crystal lattice. And in doing so, it turns on something called JHKCU copper peptide. What that does is it turns on your stem cells, and now you have 33% of your stem cells that were asleep. They were dormant. Now they're turned on. And this immediately begins instantly the repair of cellular damage. It restores the collagen. It rebuilds scar tissue. So when it's rebuilding scar tissue, it's actually removing scar tissue. You're getting rid of that through perspiration, defecation, and urination, basically pee, poop, and sweat it out. You're automatically having the tissue being replaced and repaired to the original tissue that you had. So you no longer will have scar tissue. So in due time, you won't have any pain. It's going to reduce fine lines and wrinkles. It will increase your energy, increase your sexual libido, antioxidants, anti-aging, anti-inflammation. It will provide you pain relief. And people report from the medical studies that we have over 90 independent research studies, and it shows that you have, within 3 to 4 minutes of applying the patch, you have 50 to 100% pain relief, and you have improved sleep. And a lot of people, like myself, I'm in the category of people who, although the medical studies and the independent research studies they didn't monitor hair growth, but many of us, we have a group where we have almost 4,000 people in it, which I'll show you before we get off of here. We have many people who report that they've had hair growth. Either they were bald or they had alopecia areata, which is a bald spot on your head due to some sort of trauma. In my case, I had a traumatic brain injury. I had blunt force trauma from behind. So I had a bald spot for 5 years, the size of my palm behind my head, and another one above my ear. And now I have about 3 to 4 inches of hair growth that is, don't have a shiny bald spot back there anymore. It's starting to grow now, which is very exciting for me, as you can only imagine. I also noticed that my hair is a lot softer and smoother and silkier since I started on these patches. So the next stem cell patch is the daughter stem cell patch. So these work in synergy with each other. So this second stem cell patch, one of the exciting things about this is that it protects you against radiation poisoning. That's power lines in front, above, below, or behind your house. This has to do with 5G, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi radiation. And this stem cell patch, what's exciting about it is that it increases your lean muscle mass, your bone density, your muscle mass and strength. It increases your energy, focus, and cardiovascular function. And it also burns whatever belly fat you have. It'll burn the belly fat to turn it into immediate energy, so it's not stored there, which is awesome because that's part of the increased energy that you're going to sense. And it also helps with osteoporosis because it is increasing your bone density.
So quite good for that menopause then.
So this is a great book. Yeah, this is a great, this patch is fantastic we don't make any medical claims with any specific condition, but if one of the things that you have is menopause, yes, it's going to alleviate any of the symptoms of menopause. And if you have any osteoporosis because of those hormonal fluctuations, it will increase your bone density. If you've had any injury, you broke a bone, for example, it will help rebuild that bone at a quantum level. I can show you before we're done here, my daughter who broke her toe, and normally it takes a bone 6 to 8 weeks to repair. And for her, we got somebody else joining us in, so we're gonna admit them. Anyhow, in less than a week of having broken her big toe, she was able to walk her dog for an hour. But what I find more astonishing was that 6 hours after we applied the stem cell activation patches on her, 6 hours later, all of the inflammation from the fracture was gone and all of her pain was gone. So
Wow.
within the same day, after that first, I'd say 2-3 hours of her having that fracture, after that, she never had pain again.
Mm.
Zero pain and zero inflammation. Now she had a lot of bruising on and off. Like it was very strange. Like the next day she had a lot of bruising. The next day she had no bruising. And then
Wow.
the fourth day, a lot more bruising than 2 days before. And then the next day, almost no bruising. It took about 5 days before she finally had no bruising that came back. And all you could see was the red line across the base of the toe. So I'll show you those
Wow.
pictures a little bit later.
Lillian, do you know what's happened? This is my 5th day wearing the patches, and yesterday, my neck, I felt it straighten up. I felt like I had someone doing surgery to my neck. I kid you not. I was going to put a testimony today, but I look awful, so I didn't go online.
So you can do one either later today or you can do it tomorrow. But I just recently had somebody who told me, I don't remember how many days they were on the patches, but they said that that after a little bit of time of wearing the patches, all of a sudden one day they heard their back and their neck, it started to pop, and they suffered a brain injury. And they started to hear like the popping and cracking in their neck, and then noticed, they thought that was odd because they weren't doing anything and they had that sensation and they heard it. And they noticed the next day, they're like, oh, the pulling and the ache and some of the tension that they had in their neck and their back was now gone.
Mhm.
And I got to tell you, like, I have not had to, the need of having to crack your neck or crack your back. And I had a C5 and C6 neck injury. So when I first had that injury for the first several years, I could barely move. I didn't want anything to crack, but I went from having a back and a neck it was like an old person's back and neck. It was like crunchy. It was literally crunchy, and it would like little crack here, little crack there. It was just, it was painful, really painful 24/7. I went from that to having it feels like a spongy neck and back like you did when you were a kid, where it's like, it's just rubbery. There's like no tension, no crack. It's comfortable. So that is a fantastic sensation. So kudos to you. Congratulations. It hasn't been that long that you've been on the patches. So that's fantastic, Lilliana.
I have great results. I'm a life testimony. That's why I've created this group even before I met you, and I told all my friends, and I did not know the way I was gonna go until everything manifests itself. And now I've got the formula and it's working, and I'm showing life that this is not joke, it's not somebody else's testimony, it's my own.
Yeah.
This is the best thing you can
It's
do.
amazing. It is really amazing. So the next patch is called glutathione. That's actually the patch that I have here. If you see, I normally put this on my brainstem, but yesterday I decided to put it here on my chest. So this morning when I went to reapply my patches, I put it here on my this is a particular conception vessel point.
Yeah, same one.
Glutathione patch is really, really important, very, very powerful. It's a master antioxidant detoxifier. It boosts your immune system. We all don't need to belabor why it's so important to boost your immune system, especially over the last few years. This boost in glutathione hormone, as soon as you put the patch on, within 24 hours, your glutathione is anywhere from 300 to 600% increased. The first stem cell patch that I shared with you.
No.
The first stem cell activation patch that I shared with you boosts your glutathione level by just 30%. When you wear it in conjunction with this glutathione level patch will boost to 300 to 600%, depending on what your body needs at that moment in time, because it's going to change not just minute by minute, it's going to change second by second. Because this is an immune booster, it's also going to be an antiviral, so it increases your antiviral properties in your body. So we have studies that show that the difference between wearing this patch every single day, 7 days a week, as opposed to just 5, if you wear it 7 days instead of 5, the amount of benefit that you get for the human body is doubled. So this is a patch that we recommend that you wear daily. And one of the things that David says is it's just like your liver and your kidneys. Your liver and your kidneys, they don't just operate 5 days a week. The body knows that it's important to have that detoxification and to remove the impurities from your system every single day, 24/7. So your kidney and your liver are working 24/7. And so it's important to wear this glutathione. There's maybe 1 or 2% of the people, depending on what their conditions are, where they may not be able to wear it every day, but we can muscle test or sway test the person's body to see if they need to back off of it, maybe the number of hours or the number of maybe one day less a week. Usually it's a matter of a few hours less. And there are certain things that will be presented that will give us feedback and information about them. So that's why we always make sure that whoever starts you on the patches, that you're in close contact with them. As soon as you receive your patches, you are going to then have instruction about placing your patches, depending on what your circumstances are, and then getting back to them and letting them know, okay, 24 hours later, this is how I slept, this is how I'm feeling, this is what my pain level is, and so forth. And then just getting back to us, because with that feedback, then we can tell you, oh, you need to increase your water intake, or you need to do this or do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this is all advisement. The next thing is Eon. So Eon, this is our 4th patch. It's a master anti-inflammatory patch. The majority of people have inflammation. The majority of people have some sort of inflammation in the body. We have too much acidity. And so this is the master anti-inflammatory patch. It's also the anti-stress patch. We call this, our nickname for this Eon patch is called the happy patch. This raises actinoplastins, and we'll get into what actinoplastins are in just a minute, but it raises your actinoplastins. And as you know, a lot of people will take supplements for DHEA. That's someone else joining us. And this produces, I love this, it produces brain balancing and a very calming effect, because this patch will reduce the cortisol and the C-reactive proteins that your fight or flight response is produced through both your adrenals and your hippocampus, which is the back part of your brain. So this patch, all things inflammation. If you have an injury, very, very important patch for you to wear, because if you have an injury, you have inflammation from the injury. If you've had surgery recently, you have inflammation. So this is a very important patch for you. And the other thing is that the actinoplastins, sorry about that, didn't mean to move that. The actinoplastins are peptides that we find in the urine and the blood of happy, healthy people. And these are used for various cancers, high cholesterol, brain swelling that's due from any inflammatory condition, any kind of inflammatory infection of the body. In the research that I found, it mentioned specifically encephalitis, HIV, AIDS, Parkinson's, and other neurological conditions, but it's very clear that it's brain swelling that's due to any kind of infection that you may have. The research shows that the actinoplastins might stimulate the immune system, and they might also kill certain cancer cells or prevent them from proliferating or growing. So this is one of my favorite patches. Some of the people that we have on the stem cell activation patches, we have them on as many as 2 or 3 of these at a time, depending on their state of being. This carnosine patch, the last 2 patches, so glutathione, Eon, and carnosine, that makes our YH package. These first 5 stem cell patches are, I call them the Fantastic 5, to stay alive and to thrive, because they're the foundation for anything. Even if you are an Olympic athlete and everything is absolutely perfect in your body, I mean, nobody's body is exactly perfect, but Olympic athletes, and we do have like the women's Stanford swim team, we have plenty of Olympic athletes and NFL players who do this for peak performance, to get faster, better, stronger, and more competitive. These patches are what support the foundation of your body to optimize your body over the course of the next year. So carnosine, this is a powerful antioxidant. This is anything that has to do with your heart, your cardiovascular system, and anything having to do with muscles. This carnosine patch will address that. And that's what the stem cells are going to focus, is that particular organ system of the body. Muscles, heart, cardiovascular system. It also, it's one of my favorite patches. I wear this on my right temple at night because it improves healthy brain function, improves memory, processing time, strength, stamina, and endurance. So this will actually improve the speed at which you can learn retain, and recall information. It also, when you wear it at night, it also gives you very cool, very vivid dreams, which is why David Schmidt, I learned in one of the videos that I watched that he talked about this particular patch. He talks about wearing Alavita, which we'll get to. We'll talk a little bit about Alavita, but Alavita is a stem cell activation patch to activate your pineal gland, activate melatonin, and it also has to do with your autonomic nervous system. So this particular patch also detoxes the brain from aluminum. We're all aware, how many of us have had a can of beer or a can of cranberry juice or apple juice? Or how many of us prior to before 2014, almost all toothpaste in the United States, I don't know about the UK, but in the US, up until 2014, all toothpastes came in an aluminum tube. It wasn't until 2014, I believe, the research that I found showed that Tom's Toothpaste was the first toothpaste company that actually switched from aluminum toothpaste tubes to recyclable plastic. And that's because the people who were buying Tom's Toothpaste, one of the few toothpastes that are organic toothpaste, at least, people were saying, how come you're putting that in a aluminum tube? We know that aluminum is a known neurotoxin. It causes cognitive decline. It causes problems, with the brain. It interferes with the neuroreceptors. You got to get it out of that aluminum tube. So finally in 2014, they finally switched over to a recyclable plastic. So there's a lot of things that we get trace elements of aluminum, and we don't even think about it. How many times have I gone home from a restaurant where I bring my leftovers and the bottom is aluminum and it's got a paper top? Sometimes it's all aluminum, top and bottom. It depends. You have food that's catered at a party or at an event, and it comes in these aluminum trays with aluminum tops that are, large. So the food that's touching that is pulling aluminum. And so traces of aluminum are going into that food. That's not good for your brain. That's not good for your body. This is going to help detox that. So it's something that I find very exciting. Carnosine, because it has to do with all things having to do with the muscle, expedites any wound healing. So again, if you have any kind of injury, if you've had any kind of surgery, any kind of trauma, phenomenal patch. It really expedites things for you.
I think that's the one who's doing this for me in my neck. The carnosine, because I'm using the powerful ones. Yeah, I think this is the one who made the movement yesterday. I was in the kitchen. I was just like enjoying the sun from my kitchen door, and I felt this thing moving. I was like, wow, thank you. I said, thank you for the aliens. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. So the carnosine, because it's having to do with your cardiovascular system, your rapid brain processing, and anything having to do with the heart and your muscles. It's working in conjunction with the X39, the second patch that we discussed, that has to do with increasing lean muscle mass and bone density. So these work in synergy, and all the patches work systematically. So it's not like they work on just one thing. They work in systems of the body, which is why they work so effectively and so well.
Well, I went full on. I've got 4 patches in my body, so it's full on. So I've been ordering the Alavida, but it's not available in UK yet.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So that's good to know.
That's order, but it's not available.
So this Alavida patch. So I won't talk much about the Alavida patch, because if it's not available in the UK, I want to say because I do have, maybe they changed that recently, because I have someone in London who actually that I met with when I first arrived in October, when I met up with you, Lilliana, who I have him on the Alavida patch, but I'll have to look into that. So I won't spend too much time on the Alavida, just in case it's not available for you. But the Alavida patch does, it activates your pineal gland. It increases something called epithelium peptide, which is what's necessary for repairing skin. Everyone focuses on the exterior, the skin outside your body. But as far as your body's concerned, when your stem cells activate skin, it's activating skin outside your body and inside your body. So it does it wholly, completely, in integrity. So the epithelium levels are going to increase throughout your entire body, which is what creates not just the reparation of your body, but automatically by it doing that, it's also rejuvenating you. because it's returning your body to a younger, healthier state. And so it increases collagen, mental clarity, focus, improves sleep, antioxidants, reduces oxidative stress, and it stimulates your frontal lobes, activates your pineal gland, and increases and resets your melatonin. So I'm not going to talk about the rest of the patches. I want to keep it just to the 5 because I'm sure some of you have questions. It's 33 minutes past the hour, and I want to open this up so that I can answer any questions that you have. I want to thank Michelle, Sean, whoever is on Galaxy S.
I think it's Jay. Is that you, Jay?
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, I got it. I know your Galaxy thing now. And it was Jess, but she's Jess gone. I'm gonna ask her to come back for the questions because I think she wants to be a distributor. Where is she?
Fantastic.
Come back.
So,
Come back.
So any questions? What questions might I be able to answer for you?
Well, I probably the obvious. How much is it?
Okay, so the stem cell activation patches, this is a great question, and commonly, I always tell people you can get started on the stem cell activation patches for the cost of 2 Starbucks a day. So these 2 stem cell activation patches, if you go to Lilliana's website, you're going to just were to go straight out there, you would see, okay, if I'm going to buy X39 and I'm going to buy X49, I'm just going to get these 2 to start off with. Just these 2 are $149 each. And in one of these, you have 30 patches, so it's for a 30-day supply. We call these sleeves. So a sleeve is basically an envelope for to hold the patches in. So for X39, this would be $149 and this would be $149. But if you buy them together, they have a bundle pack. So then that's $279. However, you can have Lilliana get you put on something called a doctor wholesale pack, where you could get the silver pack or the gold pack. And I'm going to show that to you here in just a moment, because it's so much easier when you see and you hear as opposed to just hearing. It's easier to retain.
Okay.
Oops, I just flipped my.
Everybody's online, but they're not jumping in. They want to start, but they can't start without listening.
Okay.
I can hear, but I can't.
Sean, this is going to be good for you, Sean, because you got a community of people that needs healing, don't you?
So
Okay, got it.
with the silver pack, as you can see, the retail price, if you were to get 3 sleeves, you could get 3 sleeves for $450, and went straight to the site. That's what it would show. However, when Lilliana gets you started, our practice, we have 710 doctors and holistic care practitioners. Many of them, like Dr. Stacy, I believe Lilliana has introduced you to Dr. Stacy. She's my partner. She has an integrative medicine PhD, but she's about done with her 2nd PhD in functional medicine. So we don't prescribe any meds, but Dr. Stacy is a fountain of wealth. And along with, again, we have 710 doctors and holistic care practitioners like myself. So you have access to being able to ask questions and get answers about anything that you might have with regards to how to proceed with these stem cell activation patches. And we're all part of Lilliana's support team. And once you get started, then it's part of your support team too. So a very common question is like, which acupuncture point should I wear these stem cell activation patches? So we always recommend the 2 go-to spots, because of all of our research used those 2 spots, is your governing vessel 14, which is the back of your neck at the bottom. It's the top of your spine at the bottom of your neck. So I'm going to show you my patches. You're going to see that I'm wearing more than one in the back so that you can see.
Yeah.
The reason why we use that acupuncture point is because that's governing vessel 14, basically around cervical, like where your C7 is. And that is where your brainstem branches down into your spinal column, and then it sends a signal into your spinal column to send information. It's like your information highway. So that's a very powerful governing vessel. We use that for a lot of things in traditional Chinese medicine. So that's why that's a very powerful spot to wear it. The second place is below the belly button, just a couple fingers below the belly button. That's conception vessel 6. That acupuncture point deals with all things having to do with your reproductive organs and all of your digestion. And so that's another very powerful acupuncture point. You could do either or, you can alternate, or as you feel. Sometimes you can wear it here, other times you can wear it there. There's other places, the patches work anywhere you have skin on the body, but there's always places where you might feel a greater effect because you're putting it on an acupuncture point.
Is there, sorry to interrupt you, lovely, is there any time period that you do you just have them for 30 days and you don't go over that and then you come off and then go back on it again, or is it?
So another fantastic question. So we wear the stem cell activation patches for 12 hours on and then 12 hours off. So you're going to, let's say you're always up at 7 in the morning, brush your teeth. I keep my stem cell activation patches to the left of my bathroom counter so that it reminds me, and I have my evening patches to the left of that. I have, you know, my toilet, and above that I have a little shelf. So my evening patches I put over there. Most of the patches are day patches. So you're going to have those after you brush your teeth, after you take your bath, then now you go ahead, you put your patches on. You can wear these while swimming or while bathing. So my preference is to brush my teeth, bathe, and then go ahead or shower and then apply them afterwards. So you're going to wear them 12 hours on. So let's say 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then at 7 p.m. you remove the patches. Don't throw them away, save them, put them on your counter, save them for the next day. And then you're going to, the next morning, put fresh new patches on. And then your used patches, I recommend to people that you put them under your feet.
Wow. Did not know that. I'll be thrown away.
Whatever.
That's cool. I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah. Many people we know, they've taken their used patches and they put them on their dog, their cat, their parakeet, their horse, their animals. And then we have accounts of people who, I have a picture of a dog who had a cataract, and a month later, the cataract was gone. So we know that there's a little juice left in those patches after 12 hours. So that's why I tell people, from now, once I started seeing this repeatedly over and over again, I started telling people, don't throw away your patches. Hold on to your used patches, save them. If you forget to put, the used patches under your feet the next day, it doesn't matter. You can do it the following day, or sometimes I'm wearing a type of shoe or a sandal where I just don't want to. It doesn't matter. You're wearing your main patches already. The thing is that you're getting the last bit of energy that you can from those patches before you actually finally toss them out. Does that make sense?
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
So getting back to the silver pack, if you just go straight to the site, the maximum you'll get will be 3 of these. However, if you have Lilliana sign you up, if she gets you started, then instead of 3, you'll be able to get 4 of these. It would be 4 for $2.99 or 5 for about $3.30, plus whatever the tax rate is in the country that you're living and whatever the shipping is, which is, I think it's about 10, usually in the States, it's about $10. And I've noticed it's about 10, 11 euro, depending on what European country you're in. So that gives you an idea what the silver pack is. The gold pack is typically 5 sleeves if you're directly on the site. However, when Lilliana gets you started, then it would be still $4.99, but instead of 5, you get 8 sleeves, which is a big difference because you already know how much one sleeve is. So now you're getting a huge discount. You're getting 8 for $4.99. So some people want for them and their spouse, or they might have a practice where they're a holistic care practitioner, a doctor, maybe they're a occupational or physical therapist, etc. Or they have, maybe they're a physical trainer, maybe they're an energy healer. Most of the folks that are falling in that category, they're usually getting a diamond pack. And then instead of 19 sleeves, you're getting 39 sleeves instead of 19. But that, again, you would have to go have Lilliana do a one-on-one with you because that's how this works. So what other questions might you have?
Could it be working with something like a prolapse disc in the back?
Yes, in fact, I'm going to share with you. Let me see if I can share with you my.
I never expected the results so fast in my body, Michelle. When I put one
Yeah.
in the belly button, especially,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I had a clean liver. This is me because I eat
Yeah.
correctly,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
how wrong I was because my toxins, it was just like showing in a patch next day,
Yeah.
like it showed like a little cells around the white bit, you know, the clear bit. It was like sucking all this
Yeah.
toxins out. That's why I shared it on my group because
Yeah. Yeah.
the most amazing thing for me was the bone in the back because I suffer from so many years
Yeah.
with this interrupted cycle of like I call it no blood circulation from the back.
Yeah.
And the bone just done some movement, and now I don't know, I can't explain. Even if I want to explain, I have to do a live because I just can't write it and explain.
Yeah.
So in a live video, I showed where I put my patches, and the first 3 days was on the back, 4 other back, and then yesterday and today I put 2 other belly button, 1 in the arm because of the arthritis, and I show people how the arthritis in 2 days just gone down in inflammation. My God, I thought I thought I said like it's gonna be a month. I'm not gonna do anything for a month. I'm just gonna try it. But as soon as I try, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
But you don't know until you
No.
try it. You
Until
just
you
don't.
try it. Yeah.
But you don't feel anything. It's just like for me, the back, my neck, always been like dodgy anyway. And now if I feel like I have no bump there anymore, it's gone.
Yeah. I have terrible legs and lower back because of menopause and my belly. Oh,
yeah.
so yeah, I just irritable legs as soon
And
as
the
I lie
thing is,
down.
So I want to share with you here because she asked about the disc and the prolap disc.
Yeah. Cheers.
So here we have, you can see we have 4,000 members in my Telegram group here.
Yeah.
Right now we have 120 people. These all 4,006 members are people who have already started on the stem cell activation patches. And every day we have people who give testimonials, sharing about the results that they're having, whether they've been on it for a few days or whether they've been on a few weeks, months, some people even years. So here we have one out of 4,006 people, we have 75 messages that refer to your discs. And this person here, you could see she had cervical spondylosis, thinning of the disc, and degenerative arthritis of the neck and the spine, as well as nerve pain. She was also diagnosed with HR positive breast cancer. Now her cholesterol is down 40 points, triglycerides down 70 points, off of her hormone meds, pain meds gone, constipation gone, rosacea gone, prescription free. Let me see, this is October 31st. There's another one. And I want to see where it says about the congenital. She's born with a congenital blocked vertebrae and a disc.
You see, I could share all these videos, all these testimonies because I'm aware of them. But I said to Lillian, Michelle, that I'm going to be my own guinea pig because I want people to see it.
Yeah, because my other half has a prolapsed disc and nerve damage in his leg and that. It's quite extreme.
So,
ongoing wait for hospital, but if this sort of thing might help.
I will copy and paste this one because this one has extensive disc issues and her pain, ankle pain. 20 years ago she had pain and now the pain disappeared. So I will copy this one to Lilliana so that she can share it with
thank you.
Oops, I didn't know.
That's great, thank you.
And that way she can share it with you in the group.
Good.
Let me
you back? I lost you then.
Still here.
Okay, and then she'll be able to hear in real time. I'm gonna send it to Lilliana. Oh, it's not letting me do it now. I might have
That's fine. We can send it later. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I mean, my people that know me, they know that I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't try myself. And the results being, you know me for years, Michelle. So
absolutely, yeah.
So I wouldn't attempt to sell it. That would not work for me.
So
I have
if anyone has another condition that you would like me to look up on here, and I can send it to Lilliana, and that way she can post it in the group, then you guys can see these testimonials. As you can see, this person has a lot of things
Wow.
that's going on.
Yeah.
And this person is 67 years old. He's a myoskeletal therapist himself. And
Yeah. Oh, there it is. That's the same with the vertebrae. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Hey, I don't have any conditions I want to look up, but I was just wondering if you have any studies from like clinical trials, like as far as some stuff that people can go look up that would be interested in this, that are actual studies.
absolutely. So I'm glad that you asked that. I'm going to type here in the chat. If you go to start X39now.com, there's nothing, you can't buy anything on the site. It's strictly an educational, informational site. I'm going to put that here, startx39now.com. If you go to startx39now.com, you will see that we have a couple of videos that are a minute apiece. And then there's a link with the scientific research studies. You can click on that. All 90 scientific independent research studies are shown there. And we also have a reel at the bottom, a limited reel with maybe 20, 30 testimonials that you can watch, one right after the other. Some of them are doctors, some of them are in people like you with families like yours. So, but there's nothing to buy. It's strictly an information, an educational site. And so you can check that out there, and then you can get back with Lilliana and any questions that you have. If Lilliana can't answer them, or if I can't answer them, surely we have in our 710 doctor and holistic care practitioner practice, we always have someone 24/7 that's available to answer questions.
Yeah, because
Awesome,
Sean,
thank you.
because Sean and I, we more or less had a spiritual awakening at the same time, and we've been we change ourselves, our personalities, our structure, our own beings, and now he's working with healing and doing all these things, and I've just created my quantum group without any clue why. So the universe is working with us. But I didn't want to just jump because I don't have the qualifications. I ask. I had to have the support, Sean. So although I don't know anything about that, I'm in a quantum being myself now, understanding who I am, so I can physically and emotionally and mentally show people that it can be done easily. Because if I'm no
Well, you showed me, haven't you, as well?
yeah, because I'm no doctor, no expert, but it's been working. Yeah.
But you know, to you know, a lot of people come to this because there's relief in their own bodies. And so like April Vaughn, when she told Dr. Stacy, Dr. Stacy had been friends for like 20 years. And April, she had rheumatoid arthritis, she had lupus, she had Lyme, she had a lot of autoimmune things going on. And both of her kids were born with blood disorders and had been in the hospital every week of their lives. And so now they're 21 and 25. And about 17 months ago, when she first heard about these stem cell activation patches, she knew that Dr. Stacy has a special needs child, Taylor, and she immediately thought, not only for herself, but she's like, Stacy, help me research these stem cell activation patches. She goes, this would be amazing for Taylor, because she knew that Stacy had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on stem cell injections and stem cell therapies intravenously for Taylor. And so she didn't know anything about the patches, but she said, hey, you know, you're my best friend, you're a doctor, let's research these patches together, because I want to get started on these like today. And Stacy's like, stem cell, there's patches that activate stem cells. She goes, I want to look at the research studies. That's it. I'm in. I know how normal transdermal, these are non-transdermal patches, but she knew how dermal patches work, like nicotine patches, like hormonal patches, like birth control patches, etc. Lidocaine patches, like Salonpas, which is, you know, a lidocaine pain patch. So this is a non-transdermal. That means that it does not, there's no medicine that's put in these patches. This is organic nanotechnology, and it's organized in a way that creates a crystal lattice in a certain formation to signal in the X39 GHKCU copper peptide, the mother stem cell patch. For X49, the second one, AHKCU, the daughter stem cell, and so forth. And so this crystal lattice, what it's doing is, David Schmidt, now he receives divine downloads, and that's how he's been able to create these and invent these patches. He mimics a diamond. You know that a diamond is a crystal. So you look at a diamond crystal, and if you were to shine a light on a diamond, you see all the colors of the rainbow reflect when you reflect a light on a diamond. That's why the sparkle is so beautiful when it's polished and it's faceted. So when you take all the colors of the rainbow and then you organize the crystals so that it's mimicking the behavior of a diamond, so that when our light bounces off of that patch, it's reflecting back to your bloodstream to signal your stem cells to turn on. That's how they work.
That's amazing.
It's absolutely incredible. So
Sean, this is good music for our ears, right?
Yeah, it sounds amazing. Totally in alignment. I had a quick question about, has there been anybody that's used this for brain damage?
yeah,
Or
I do. I'm one of these people because I had a traumatic brain injury 5 years ago. I was hit by a bus while riding. I rode 16 miles and I was 3 blocks shy of completing a 16-mile bike ride. So yeah, there's been plenty of people. And in fact, if we go back to that, I can share the screen again. Let me see. We have lots of people. There's 12. Right now there's 12. I'll show you real quick. There's 12 different references of people with traumatic brain injury specifically. You see 12 messages found. If I put just brain, because some people don't mark it as trained, there's 61 if we just put brain injury in general. So there's quite a bit of, and I have quite a few people because I'm in support groups for people who have traumatic brain injuries. And so, yeah, we see incredible, it's incredible, the cognitive function, the increase of executive function, of memory. It's nothing short of, it's like we see the results that are of really a biblical proportion. So I can put one of these in here if you'd like, that has to do with the brain injury.
What's good about this is I wouldn't have technical or the vocal skills to explain so much. So we've got the support, Sean, because these people have, Lillian works with doctors, and Dr. Mel has like 4 PhD degrees now, and Dr. Nirmal and Dr. Stacy Lillian is working with. All these people are turned into quantum doctors just like that, and they start to do quantum physics and quantum studies. So we've got a big, huge backup with the network, and it's just the education as well. So there's never going to be shortage of people that's going to support evidence. Because what I'm doing is because our cycle, Sean, is people that change suddenly, normal, ordinary people suddenly change their lives, and they don't know what else to go. And what do? I create a group, I test it myself, and show these normal people like me, because we're not just normal people with no reason or anything, we just become to be understanding our multidimensional beings that we are. And how can I going to explain to these people that I'm not a doctor, PhD degree, and I'm using this as it suddenly works? So this is important.
And the fact that you're not a PhD or a doctor or a holistic care practitioner, you know, pharmaceutical reps are not doctors, they're not PhDs, they're basically representatives. So if this is something that is working for you and you have a passion for it, for example, for April, she never thought that she was going to make an income at this. She was just looking for relief and for something that would repair and restore her body and her children's bodies. And one of the first things that happened for her within just a few days was her rheumatoid arthritis pain was gone in her entire body. She was shocked. So she's like, oh my God.
I'm working on it.
She was going, oh my God, oh my God. She goes, I have no pain.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've noticed that in my hands. Yeah, absolutely. On my wrist.
Third day. So then as she started telling people, they're like, well, where can I get them? She's like, here, this is, she goes, I don't know much, but this is the information. And so, fast forward now, 17 months later, she's making a very lucrative, a very healthy income, but her focus is really on sharing and educating people about what this has done for her, what this has done for her children, what this has done for Stacy, what this has done for her friends and family who have started these and the incredible results that they've had.
It's not what you know, it's who you know and how it's done. Yeah.
Exactly.
Matter of sharing this life-saving technology, and every day, like I tell Lilliana and anybody who watches me on Facebook or on YouTube, they know
It's
that
like Christmas every day.
that's why my Christmas tree is up. It's not that early. I never took it down after last Christmas because I feel like I'm Santa Claus sharing information like I do. And then every day I get phone calls, I get text messages, I get voice messages, I get videos from people. They're like, you're not going to believe this. Oh my gosh. It's like, or you have to, they'll text me. They're like, you got to text me back. It's only going to take 5 minutes of your time. You're not going to believe what just happened. It's incredible. So then I get to be like the little kid under the Christmas tree going, woo! And so
Yeah, it's amazing actually, because I lost quite a bit of confidence in the last past years because of a lot of events, and using this, I mean, I've got one on the wrist I can show you, and I had a lot of pain on my right hand, always swollen. I can show you guys. I look terrible. Like, look at this. So this one here, it's for my wrist is always is always hurting, and this hand in the summer gets swollen. Because I work in the resorts and I do a lot of strength with my right hand and my arms, right hand and the right one. So this pain, this hand is now aligned with the other one. There's no swelling, and even this finger I shown on Facebook is reducing the inflammation. Is not so red.
you did show
Yeah, I did show it. And now it's the neck that is working. I mean, my neck is my biggest problem because I had a car accident when I was 17 years old. I never told this to anybody apart from Lillian. And I was like, if this gonna work on this structure that I know has been there since I was 17 years old, it's gonna do miracles. And yesterday when I felt the bone just going back, I was like, no way, this can't be possible. And I look up and I said to the aliens, is that you or is it Pats?
Wow.
But yeah.
So
Amazing.
we're here at the top of the hour. So as you know, Lilliana has reached out to you guys and invited you to come here today. You know, Lilliana and I both, we can help you get started. Anyone who gets started, whether there's no hurry, this is all a matter of giving you the information at the rate and the speed that you can absorb it, so that you feel comfortable and knowing and empowered with, you know, managing how you want to move forward. And so all you have to do is reach out to Lilliana if you want to get started, and then Lilliana and I can get you started. If you know, because there's only one Lilliana, but there's Lilliana and Lillian. There's also Dr. Bell, Dr. Nirmala. So between our team and Lilliana, if all of you decide, and there's probably other people that have, because sometimes that happens, as you continue moving forward in this journey, you'll find that some people will see something that you say, something that resonates. I've had people who tell me, I don't want to watch any testimonials. I don't want to read any research papers. I go, I have a good vibe with you and I just want to get started today.
Exactly.
That's pretty much how I've been with Lilliana. I don't know why, but I feel the vibe.
I feel
all
the vibe because there's resonant energy as opposed to they don't feel any dissonance. So they know that they can, you know, they like you. They feel that they know you and they trust you.
And you know, it's genuine, it's truthful. I'm genuine. I don't put myself in anything that I would not like just for the sake of it. It's service to humanity at the moment for me. For me, it's to help lives.
I totally believe that.
Yeah, and the other thing is that because David is an incredible humanitarian, as you get to know him better, both online as well as in person, but there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can even try this for 30 days. And if after 30 days you decide, you know what, I just want my money back, there's nothing for you to return because obviously you will have used the patches, but you can get all of your money back. If it doesn't work out for you, if you choose that it's whatever, you don't even have to give a reason. So the bottom line is that who would want to do that? Because normally it takes the human body 7 years to replace all 56 trillion cells in your body. When you're on the stem cell activation patches, everything is being done at a quantum, at a much expedited rate. So over the course of 12 months that you're on the patches, now everything is repaired and restored. And so, for example, Stacy, who turned 48 years old, September 23rd of this year, in August, she completed 12 months of being on the stem cell activation patches. So she got her blood test done. We looked at her biomarkers, and when we looked at her biomarkers, even though she was turning 48 September 23rd, her blood biomarkers shows now that she's barely 30 years old, even though she's done 48 round the circle. That's what she is, the number of birthdays she celebrated. Biologically, her biomarkers show that she's barely 30 years old. So she's nowhere close to perimenopause, premenopause, menopause. Her body is behaving and functioning like it's barely.
Wow,
So she's like, I'm never on these patches because I want to be 80, 90, 100, 105 years old. And I want to be in the youngest, most prepared possible body state I can. So when I get to the end of my life, I'm not in
You look amazing. You look amazing.
You're gonna look amazing. You're gonna feel amazing. You'll be 105, 110, whatever age you are, and you're like, okay, it's been a good run. It's time to go. You go away in your sleep, but not because you're ill, not because you're in pain, not because you've got tubes coming out of everywhere. You're like, okay, yeah, it's like 105 years, 100. It's a long time. It's time to go now, and you go to sleep, and you're gone. And so, after 12 months, you can get off the patches. You can get off the patches at any time. You have free will. There's no contract. We're not, we don't want to be
So
married.
if you just suddenly stop, if you suddenly just stop, then you wouldn't have any withdrawals or anything.
No, there's no withdrawals. So whatever meds that you're on, you can continue on. Whatever supplements you're on, drink alcohol. This is not going to interfere. Of course, the better nutrition.
Yeah, I mean, I have asthma, so that is just something that's picked up.
Yeah.
From being silly and having penicillin.
So you probably take a steroid inhaler to open up and dilate your lungs so you can breathe.
What is the best patch for asthma? For Michelle, we can ask.
Those should take all 5 to systemically complete her.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
my phone's going to die, I've literally got 2%, so I'm going to have to say goodbye.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later. I'll PM you, Lilliana.
Thank you. I love you.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely. Bye.
Thanks.